Liz's Crafts, and I'm just going to go to my Facebook page and wait for the notification to come up before we get started. There's my notification. Let me turn this down. So when you bring this up on your phone, it's going to look like this. But if you turn it this way, you will get a better picture of what we're doing here on the table. Alrighty, so if you like what you see here, please do this to your page and with your friends. And we call that sprinkling, and I would appreciate it. And you can also follow and like Liz's Craft page and get the notifications when I go live. I also put my videos on YouTube, and if you subscribe to it, then you will see when we get new videos. Okay, so today we have this piece of wood, and what I did was I sprayed it with this Rust-Oleum 2x Ultra Cover Matte Clear, and that's just so that my stencil doesn't run in the cracks, the nooks and the crannies and the cracks when I stencil on it. And I just got that at Walmart. So the first thing we're going to do is put some little protectors on the back of this piece of wood so that it doesn't scratch your furniture when you go to put it down. Like if you're going to put it on your dining room table or your coffee table or whatever, then it's not going to scratch your table when you set it down. And let me show you what it is. It's Tool Bench Hardware 60 pieces felt pads, and I got this at the Dollar Tree. And these are adhesive, so you just pull the backs off and then you just adhere them to the bottom of your project. And it just keeps it, like I said, from scratching your furniture. Of course, if you're going to put it somewhere where it doesn't matter, then you could skip this step. So I'm going to put one in each corner, and then I'm going to put two in the middle. I'm just going to press them down real good so they don't pop off. And I did sand the board a little bit before we started, before I added the adhesive, the clear mat to it. Okay, so this is what I have. I have these 6 felt pads on the bottom of my board. And we're going to go ahead and stencil first. So I did put the link to this stencil and the chalk paste in the description. So in this package you get 2 stencils. We've used this one here, With God All Things Are Possible, from Matthew 19:26. And then we're also going to use, for the one we're going to use is this one, For It Is By Grace You Have Been Saved, Ephesians 2:8. And those come in one package. The chalk paste I'm going to use today is the Brilliant White. And again, I did put I did put the link in the description. So I've never used this stencil before. These are adhesive stencils. They're very sticky. And I have this fuzzing pad from Magnolia that is very nice to use to fuzz your stencils, and the inside to dry your stencils. So I'm just going to put it on here probably 3 times. You see how that sticks to the pad? So we're just putting a little bit of fuzz on it so that it's not going to mess up when I pull it off of my board. So for this here, I want to get it as close to the edge as I can. So I want it to be straight. Excuse me. Let me get this right here. Yeah, okay, that's good. Okay, so we're going to do something quite a bit different here. We're just using items that we have around the house. So this is our stencil on there, and we're going to take our Brilliant White chalk paste. And you want it to be the consistency of yogurt or sour cream. And then we have these squeegees. And this one is a piece of a squeegee. I cut about this much off of it, and I cut them down so that they're easier to use on the stencils. So I'm just pushing my chalk paste in the screen portion where the words are of my stencil. And you want to work pretty fast on these because they will dry quickly, especially the chalk paste. And then if it if it's in the screen there and it dries quickly, it'll stay in the screen instead of on your project. So I'm just taking the excess off. And I'm going to scrape that into my pot. And then I'm just going to take a quick peek. Okay, it looks good, looks good. All right, so I'm just going to put my lid on my, well, I want to get this off before anything happens. Okay, so here we have it. Isn't that pretty? Let me put this in the water. So I'm putting this in water face down. I'm going to put my squeegee in there too. So when you get finished, you want to wash your stencil right away. And to do that, there is a sponge, or you can use a sponge, but they have a stencil cleaning sponge that you can use. And you just put your stencil under running water and take your sponge and wipe it down. Once you have it wiped down, you can put it inside this gray cloth here. Put this over top of it, rub it a little bit, and then put it back on the backing. And that's how you take care of your stencils and put them back in the in your little envelope here. Okay, so this is what we have. Ephesians 2:8, for it is by grace you have been saved. So I'm going to set this aside, and then we're going to work on the main portion of our project. So I have this here, and what it is one of those pieces from ceiling fans. So we just had to replace our ceiling fan, and I really liked this ceiling fan, but the light went out on it. The switch broke and it couldn't be replaced. So I didn't want my husband to throw this away, so I thought I could use it for a project. So that's what we're going to do today. So I took a piece of cardboard and I measured the size of the hole here because we're going to cover that up. And I'm just going to use my hot glue to do that. I'm going to put the, well, it doesn't want to work. Why is that? I have the hardest time with this gun, and I don't even know why. Okay, so I'm just putting glue around the edges of this cardboard circle, and then I'm going to put it down on right there to cover this hole. So just like that. And now I'm going to take this piece of cardboard and I'm going to put my my little disc, whatever you want to call it, on top of this piece of cardboard. and then I'm going to need to trim it up after I get it on there. So I'm going to put, I'm thinking maybe I should use some E6000 for this. So I'm going to put some E6000 around the edges. I will probably put a little bit of hot glue also, just so that it's going to stick right now. Okay, so let me get a little of the hot glue. Now the hot glue is just going to make it stick right now. The E6000 takes a while before it adheres. So I'm just pressing this down, and once it dries a little bit, I'm going to trim around the edges. So I see my husband is on. Hi, Dave. And Tracy's on. Hi, Tracy. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take my scissors and I'm going to trim up this cardboard. Oh no, oh no. Don't be slipping. Okay. I mean, normally you would wait until this dries before you do that, but since we're on a time crunch here, we have to do it right now. So it's going to want to come off. Okay. So there we have that. Of course, I have all kinds of glue on my hands and my scissors. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to glue this to our board. And the reason for the cardboard is this way it's going to be a lot easier to glue this onto the board. Okay, so I have my glue on there, and I'm just going to position this right on my board. So I'm going to press this down. And then what I have is this rope, and I got this at Home Depot. And then I'm going to take this rope and I'm going to put it around the edge of my disc here. And we'll probably have to do at least 2 layers of the rope and maybe 3. So I'm just putting a layer of the hot glue around the bottom of the disc, and I'm adding the rope to it. And then I'm going to hold it for a few seconds and then continue on. So this is just a way that you can use different items that are hanging around the house. I'm sorry. This is backwards for me, and it's hard for me to figure out which side of my shirt I'm supposed to fix. Isn't that crazy? Our brains don't function that way. And I know it's not just me, because other crafters have issues with that too. We see it one way and we think that's the way, the side we're supposed to fix, but it's not. It's the opposite. Okay, so I'm at the end of my rope here, and I'm just going to cut that even with the other end. If I can get this. It's pretty hard to cut. Okay. So I'm going to lay this back down. I did get it a little bit long, but we're going to make this work. It's ideal if you get it exactly even with the other end. That way it lays flat. But we didn't do too bad. It's a little bit longer than it should have been, but it's not bad. Okay, so we're going to put our second layer of rope on here. I'm just wanting to cover up these words on the side of the disc here. Okay, let's get this back on here. It wanted to take off on me. I'm just going to hold this for a few seconds. Okay. Now I'm out of glue. So this does eat up your glue sticks. So make sure you have enough on hand. Okay, so I'm just continuing around, gluing and wrapping the cord. And then I want to go ahead and cut my rope. And again, I cut it a little bit long, so I'm going to go ahead and trim this up a little bit. It's a little bit better. Okay. So I'm just going to hold this for a few seconds. And I'm going to use the rope once more. Okay, so this is what we have so far. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these. Now I got these at a dollar spot at Target. I did see these though in Hobby Lobby. They were more expensive, but you can use whatever you have available. You can use whatever you have available. So what I did was I took this and I covered it with material. It was just an old drop cloth, and then I wrapped the rope around it, and we're going to glue that right here on top. Now I'm also going to use some E6000 and some hot glue on this because I do want it to stick. Now I'm going to get one of my popsicle sticks. Ooh, I knocked that over every line. And I'm just going to spread this around a little bit, and then I'll use my hot glue gun. Because I want it to stick while we're doing this. And then the E6000 will make it permanent. So I'm just going to sit that on top just like that. And then I'm going to hold this for a few seconds. And then I'm going to take my rope and I'm going to go around it. Now you can also cover this metal disc with some material. I decided not to because I like it the way it is. I like the red lines around it, and it has a little design at the top here, and I like that. So I'm going to leave it as is. I had thought about covering it with the same material, but I decided against it. Okay, so where's my end? Here it is. So I'm just going to take my glue gun and do what we did before. I'll have to stand up here though. And take the end and then just hold it there for a few seconds. And then I'll continue around. So I thought this was just a neat little idea where you could use pieces that you have hanging around the house. So like I said, we have this piece from the ceiling fan. I have this from the Dollar Spot from Target. But you can use anything else, like any other probably candlestick holder. And then I need another stick of glue here. Ouch. Oh, jeez, that hurt. So as I'm going around, I'm just holding it a little bit for it to set before I go to the next section. And then you want to cut your end even with the other end of it. And I always seem to cut mine a little bit too long. I don't know why that is. Okay, perfect. Okay, that hurt. That hurt. Ow. And I do have finger protectors, but yeah, I don't use them. So I guess I really have no right complaining when I burn myself. Okay, I'm just going to clean up some of these glue hairs. Get my rope out of the way. All right. Okay, so this is what we have so far. We're not done yet. Clean this up a little bit. The rope sheds quite a bit. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is get our candle ready for the top of this. So what I have is one of these battery operated candles. Did I leave the thing on? Oh, I'm doing the wrong thing. Like this. And I got this from Target. It was on clearance. But I'm going to put a candle garter around it. So I have this piece of drop cloth that goes with this. And I'm going to, and a piece of lace on top of it. And this was just an old lace material that I'd had for years. And I'm just going to take my hot glue gun and I'm going to draw a line of glue from one end to the other end of this garter, and then I'm going to press it down. So it's not glued to the candle, it's glued to the garter. And then I need to take this piece of lace and glue it down. So again, I'm just putting some glue on the edge. If I can get my glue gun to work correctly. Doesn't want to work. Why not? Okay, let's try this again. I'm pressing this in. No glue is coming out. I'm having the hardest time with these Schwarbonder. I thought it would be a good glue gun, but it's turning out not to be. And I did get a replacement actually. So anyway, I'm going to plug up my other one. And so we still need to glue this piece of lace down, and then I need to glue this right here down. And then I'll show you what everything looks like. So, what do you guys think about this? Let me get these glue pieces off of here, the glue hairs. So this is just an old board. I sprayed it down first with the clear matte spray so that my chalk paste wouldn't spread. I just have this right here from our ceiling fan, and then the ropes, and this is like, I think it's a little cupcake holder, and I Mod Podged the material from the drop cloth on it, and then glued the rope around it there. Maggie Bowden. Hi Maggie, I don't think I've seen you before. Are you new to my page? And thank you for the compliment, I appreciate it. Where are you watching from? So let's see if my glue gun, not yet. So look around your house and see if you have some items laying around that you can turn into craft projects. Better than them just sitting there collecting dust. So like I said, I'm waiting for my glue gun to heat up because my other one isn't working correctly. Oh, Maggie is new. Well, welcome Maggie. I'm glad to see you. And she's from Idaho, Caldwell, Idaho. Well, welcome Maggie. I so appreciate you. Please feel free to follow and like my page and set your notifications so that you get notified when I go live. And be sure to do this to your friends and your family that you think they might enjoy our crafts here. Okay, I think we're ready. So I'm just going to glue down this lace on the edge, and then I'm going to glue down the end of my drop cloth. And then we'll put the candle on here, and you can see how it all looks and comes together. Okay, so here we have it. Turn it up a little bit so you can see. So we have these felt circles on the bottom so it won't scratch your table. But this would be a nice little something for your coffee table or your dining room table. This is just an idea of something that you can make using different pieces of items laying around your house. So tomorrow I'm going to show you how to stencil on a t-shirt. So I have one of my husband's t-shirts, and we're going to stencil "Not Today, Satan." So I have it back there, but and then what we'll do is heat set it so that you can then wash it and dry it like you would any other piece of clothing. So I will be back tomorrow at 11:30 Central for that craft, and I hope to see you all back here. And thank you for supporting me and my page and my crafts. And if you do make something, please feel free to share it on Liz's craft page, and I will take a picture of this and put it on Liz's craft page also. So until tomorrow, keep crafting.